Yeah. S-Deuce is the name. Talking wrestling is the game. So let's talk some wrestling, shall we? Whoa! Listen, man, it's August. SummerSlam is upon us. Let's just say it's the number 2 pay-per-view in the WWE because it is. They do a whole big thing. This year they're doing the concert. NXT Takeover Brooklyn 1 was historic. It was groundbreaking. You had Balor versus Owens in the ladder match. You had Bayley winning the NXT Women's Championship from Sasha Banks in a match of the year. Even PWI magazine gave it the match of the year. It was that fucking good. This year Bayley's going up against Asuka to try to become the 2-time women's champ. But as we know, Bayley's getting called up. She kind of made her debut at Battleground. She was Sasha Banks' mystery opponent. The crowd went fucking insane. It's starting to rain. Excuse me. Nasty day in New York City. Nasty fucking day. But Bayley's going up against Asuka. And Joe against Nakamura are the 2 big matches. And I don't know, man. I don't see NXT TakeOver Brooklyn being as good as last year's was. But that's okay because they're still growing as a business, as a company for WWE. And they're kind of distancing themselves away from the WWE. I mean, I know Balor and a few people, 6 stars got called up. Apollo Crews is up there now. NXT's kind of bare. They don't really have stars. They don't really have stars that are established already. But if you've been online today, oh, it's starting to rain real hard now. If you've been online today, you'll know that Roderick Strong left Ring of Honor. He finished up with Pro Wrestling Guerrilla last night. So they could start bringing in a lot of independent stars. I talked about Moose going to TNA. That's all right. There's plenty of people to pick from. Evolve, remember Chris Hero? Well, Chris Hero works for Evolve and PWG. WWE is kind of, or more importantly, NXT has been kind of scouting them and scouting their company, and it's been working out nice for them. So expect new people to be called into NXT and NXT to thrive. Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and No Way Jose are wrestling at TakeOver 2. But I don't think Shinsuke Nakamura takes that belt yet from Joe. I don't think it's his time. I don't think it's right yet for him. I think it's too soon for Joe to lose. He had to, like he said on Wednesday, jump through every hoop to get the match with Balor to begin with. Nakamura's beaten Wesley. He's beaten Blake Murphy. He's beaten Ty Dillinger a couple of times. He's beaten Austin Aries. He's beaten Finn Balor in his debut, but he hasn't really earned that title shot. That story for the next 3 weeks is going to progress. And I think Samoa Joe wins that match. I think you'd be dumb to take the belt off Samoa Joe right now. He's the proper heel. Unless they were going to transition into Samoa Joe, Nakamura and Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode's a nice heel for NXT. He's making his debut this Wednesday night, only on the WWE Network, $9.99 a month. You know the rules. You guys know the deal. I just expect NXT TakeOver 2 to be good, but not as good as 1. So when you watch the show in a couple of weeks, make sure you have that mentality going into it so you don't get super duper disappointed. Bayley and Asuka, Bayley's gonna lose. They're not gonna give Bayley the belt for her to jump up to the main roster right away. It's just not gonna happen. She's debuting in September from what everybody says. But the influx of new talent that are about to come in, look for it. I mean, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks have been Twitter warring with the fucking New Day for the last year. I expect them to do something. I mean, if you watched Raw Monday night, they ran through everything you could run through in New Japan Wrestling. WWE programming has been like a one big commercial for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I see them working together soon in the future again. Remember last year in Brooklyn, they got Jushin Thunder Liger. Maybe this year, we get I don't know, maybe Ibushi, maybe Kota. I wonder if the finals to the CWC are going to be at TakeOver 2. That's something to talk about. So let's talk wrestling. S-Deuce is the name. Talking wrestling is the game. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends to tell a friend. Let's talk wrestling. Do what you love so you always love what you do. And be yourself. Stop trying to be original like everybody else. S-Deuce, let's talk wrestling. NXT Takeover 2, Brooklyn.